How exactly do toys from Poppy Playtime eat? This has been one of the biggest unsolved mysteries, and the answer is even worse than you could imagine. Something as simple as eating has been transformed into a downright disturbing experience thanks to the Playtime factory. Now, we're all familiar with the death cutscenes in Poppy Playtime. These are black screens with certain messages that show up every time we're defeated, like if we're unable to outrun a toy in a chase, fail a minigame, or make a mistake when solving a particular puzzle. Each chapter has its own set of death screens, but what they all have in common is the fact that it's preceded by the toy attacking and taking a bite of us. This applies to all of the toys, except for one, which is Miss Delight. She doesn't devour the player in order to kill them, but she swings at them with Barb, her favorite weapon. However, it's still safe to say that Miss Delight wouldn't hesitate to consume our flesh just like she did with her sisters. We don't need to rack our brains to find an explanation about how Miss Delight would eat us. Her mouth can be seen very explicitly in all of her scenes. Interestingly, unlike most other toys, her teeth are visible and are very human-like. It's important that we pay attention to her figure as well. Based on the shape and placement of her joints, she resembles a human the most, while still being made of plastic. Her footsteps also sound rigid, and she moves way slower than the player, indicating her body must be heavy. It's likely that the teeth she reveals to us were the same ones she had before she was experimented on. The fake plastic smile was only a mask, which she broke off in order to eat the other Miss Delights. Her size, body shape, and proportions make it likely for her to have a normal human anatomy. This includes having a functioning digestive system, so figuring out how she eats is not rocket science. It's the total opposite of someone like, let's say, Boxy Boo. He's one of the most bloodthirsty Playtime toys produced by the Bigger Bodies initiative. We first see him in the Hour of Joy footage savoring a man's upper torso before running away. As you can see, he casually leaves the man's legs behind, right after taking a big chunk of his body. Now, it might not be easy to see Boxy Boo's complete anatomy in that footage, but you can see his full appearance in Poppy Playtime spin-off, Project Playtime. There, he's portrayed as a music box with a giant head that's about the same size as his giant box body. He has 4 limbs that are just coils, and he also has a throat in the shape of a spring. Now, this is the part where people start raising questions, as his throat seems a little too tiny to support his giant head, let alone swallow a body. So where does the victim's corpse go after Boxy Boo feeds on them? Well, if Miss Delight resembles a human being, Boxy Boo kind of resembles a Venus flytrap, especially in the way he catches his prey using his mouth. Plus, he has a super sharp set of teeth, fully consisting of fangs that look like the plant's thorns. Venus flytraps digest their food by releasing digestive enzymes that break down the insects they catch. It's possible that Boxy Boo has a similar trait. He could have had some strong acids inside his mouth to turn his victims into liquid, so they could be easy to swallow. If not that, maybe his stomach is located in his head, so there's no need for him to swallow. Also, we can't forget that his main purpose was to eliminate lower-level Playtime employees. Therefore, whoever designed him must have made sure his jaw and teeth had massive crushing power. That way, his victims' bodies would turn into mush, leaving no trace for anyone to find. Now, when talking about teeth, we can't exclude Huggy Wuggy from the conversation. Huggy's teeth are arguably his identity. Without them, he wouldn't be the Huggy we know. They look no less sharp than Boxy's teeth, and there's no doubt they can easily rip through human flesh. If you think they're not deadly enough, wait until you find out that Huggy has 2 rows of teeth, not just one. But his appearance is more human-like than Boxy's, so we don't need to solve a riddle to find out how he digests his victims. We know that the Bigger Bodies Initiative toys have real human organs inside them. During our hallucination sequence in Chapter 3, we get to hear a new VHS tape. This was located in the same area right before Nightmare Huggy Wuggy comes out of the TV. One of the lines in the tape says, "Perhaps they'd smile at you from a shadow, their smiling mouths full of teeth and meat and plastic." So far, we've discussed Miss Delight, Boxy Boo, and Huggy Wuggy, who are confirmed to have teeth. But what about the other toys, whose teeth have never been shown, like Mommy Longlegs and the Smiling Critters? This includes fan favorites like Catnap and Dog Day as well. Do they really have no teeth, or are they hiding them? Let's talk about the mini smiling critters first. While the inside of Catnap's or Dog Day's mouth is pitch black, their mini versions have a small device inside. This little black device attached to their throat can be seen when they attack us in a cutscene. This is most likely the device that is used to emit their scents. Each plushie in the Smiling Critters line has the ability to release a certain scent from their mouth every time their tail is pulled. For example, Dog Day releases a vanilla scent, and Bobby Bear Hug emits a rose scent. Originally, Catnap was supposed to release a lavender scent, but somehow, he breathes out the red gas. Although the scent box is the only thing we can see inside the mini critter's mouth, it's still possible they do actually have teeth behind the fabric. The company probably sews them in so that the critters can smile as widely as possible without creeping out the children. But we know for sure that they have teeth, because it just doesn't completely make sense if they don't. The tape even confirms it, and we've seen a similar case with Miss Delight, whose teeth were covered by plastic before she broke it off. Maybe someday we'll get to see the fabric around their mouths removed, and we can finally know what they look like with their teeth. It might also be the case with Mommy Longlegs. From the moment we first meet her to the moment of her death, we never see her reveal her smile. There's a possibility it's just intentionally hidden by her designer. But her design also leaves us with questions. She has a very narrow throat and does not show any teeth, just like the smiling critters. It's practically impossible for her to swallow her prey too, so how does she eat? Well, there's an explanation for this. As we all know, Mommy Longlegs is basically a spider, and apparently spiders don't really digest food inside their bodies. They spew out their stomach fluids that contain digestive enzymes to turn their prey into liquid before sucking them. Kinda like the Venus flytrap we also discussed earlier, except the digestion happens outside the body. For this reason, it actually makes sense that Mommy has her teeth hidden. However, for someone like Piggy Piggy, it's still quite questionable. We know she has a big appetite, so she must have some kind of a special way to eat her victims. Considering how much she eats, her body must be huge. The other smiling critters might not compare with her in terms of size. At this point, she probably has grown up so much that she's torn the fabric covering her teeth. Or if that's not the case, it's likely that her jaw has enough strength to crush down her victims, similar to Boxy Boo. But let's be real, we're talking about Piggy Piggy here, so there's no way anything could stop her from eating, not even the anatomy of her body. Any method would be fine for her as long as she gets to savor her victims, including swallowing them whole. There's a theory that this trait of hers is passed down from the real human inside her. There may have been an orphan with a similar kind of appetite. So now that they've turned into a toy, they eat whatever is in front of them. It's quite interesting and makes us question whether the same thing is also experienced by the other smiling critters. Then again, the Bigger Bodies Initiative toys are made from inorganic materials, despite containing real human organs. These toys don't have food sources, other than the Playtime employees from the Hour of Joy 10 years ago. Some of them have resorted to cannibalizing in order for them to survive. But Poppy herself proves that she can stay alive even after not consuming anything for years. So perhaps, the toys can actually survive a very long time without food. Maybe they just kill each other for the sake of their own satisfaction. What do you think? Do you agree with us? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications because we'll be back with more videos like this. See you next time.